Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm ranking all the Mortal Instruments books. Actually, I wanted to do this video far back in January itself when I finished my reread of the Mortal Instruments in December. But some things came up and I totally forgot that I had the idea to make this video. So I wanted to do it before it gets even more late. I'm also planning to do an entire ranking of all the Shadowhunters books once I finish up reading all the books that are out until now. So without any further ado, let's get into the ranking right away. I'll start from number 6 and we'll count down to number 1. At number 6, we have City of Bones, which is the first book. There are many reasons why I think City of Bones is my least favorite of all the Mortal Instruments books. The first reason is that it is a bit huger than it needs to be, if you ask me personally. I also know the reason why the book is huge because of the amount of world building that Cassandra Clare has put into the book. Of all the reasons, the first reason which I'd say why City of Bones is my least favorite of all the 6 books is that it is obviously Cassie's first book, so it cannot be her best book, right? She has written a lot more after this one and her writing only gets better and better as the books progress in various series also. I'm not saying that the book is weak in any way, I'm just saying that the writing is weak because in order to build this world in a really magnificent way, since it's urban fantasy, we have two worlds, right? Our own world and a world which exists parallelly to us, which human beings can't see. In order to build that magnificent world in which human beings live with different powers, Cassie has definitely put in a lot of infodumps and it is placed in random bits and pieces everywhere. So it just feels like at times some characters just go on a monologue and talk about how the world functions in this way. It is fun to read at times, but mostly the world building in this one is made with the help of infodumps rather than just incorporating it along with the plot or with the things that the characters are experiencing. So definitely City of Bones is at number 6 for me. At number 5, we have City of Fallen Angels, which is book number 4. You might see that this is the first book in the second part of the series and City of Bones is the first book in the first part of the series. More than City of Bones, this is better because it doesn't have that much infodump. The plot does progress in many ways, but City of Fallen Angels mostly feels like a bridge book between the end of City of Glass and the beginning of City of Lost Souls. So definitely that's a drawback if you ask me. There are multiple things which I love about this book, okay, especially the cover. Isabel is definitely one of my most favorite top 3 characters in the entire Shadowhunter Chronicles itself so far. Putting her on the cover is definitely a brilliant decision for this book, especially because after the things that Isabel goes through in City of Glass, I've always said that the peak of Isabel Lightwood's character in the entire Mortal Instruments is in the last chunk of City of Glass, and I also think Izzy is one of the most underrated characters of this entire series. Everyone likes Jason Clare, everyone likes Magnus and Alec. Very few people like Isabel and Simon because they are so strong and they seem so true to me compared to all the other characters. Also, we get to see different shades of Isabel in this book compared to the other 3 books. In the first 3 books, she's just depicted as the strong, brave female soldier that she is, but in this one, we get to see all the soft sides of her and what are the thoughts that she has, her insecurities, her trust issues. All those things are fleshed out really well in this one. Since she's one of my most favorite characters, I like this book mainly for the development of her relationship with all the other characters. And one other thing which is a fun element for me in this one was the friendship that develops and is shown clearly for us in between Jace and Simon. Usually I do like enemies to friends trope rather than enemies to lovers, so definitely Jace and Simon's friendship in this one is also a really good plus point for me. At number 4, we have City of Ashes, which is the second book. I said that one of the main reasons that I put City of Bones so low in the list is the writing of Cassie Clare in that one. Definitely the writing is a plus point when it comes to City of Ashes because you can just see a very big shift in her writing style from City of Bones to City of Ashes. This is the second published book in this entire series, but you can definitely see the amount of growth that Cassie has shown in terms of writing from book 1 to book 2 is really huge, okay? Even if you're a beginner, you can definitely see the smoothness of the writing going on with the plot and the characters while it comes to the second book compared to the first book. Also in this one, not just Jason Clary are the main focus, we also get a lot more focus and fleshing out of the other main characters, namely Simon, Izzy, Alec and Magnus. In the first book, Isabel and Alec are just shown like sibling characters who are just there for Jace, but in this one only we get to see their true characters and what are the abilities that they have. The intelligence and wit of Alec is shown in the way how he maneuvers things and outwits people. Next, Izzy's loyalty and fierceness is also shown here, and all her links that she has with different people, that's also put into focus here. One of the other things which I love about this book, despite all the other things which I've said, is the friendship that we see that is shown between Clary and Simon. It is not at all a normal type of friendship. It is so totally hardcore friendship. We can just clearly say it. Also, them understanding each other and getting to know the needs and feelings of the other person and trying to back up or step into their life. All those things are really well done. So definitely, since this book ramps up the series to a really high level from book 1 to book 2, it's at number 4 for me. At number 3, we have City of Heavenly Fire, which is the 6th and final book in the series. The reason why I'm putting this at number 3 compared to the other 2 books is because of some of the decisions that Cassie makes in order to build the relationships, okay, especially the relationship between Jace and Clary and the relationship between Simon and Isabel, because they have really complex issues. We are not sure whether Magnus and Alec are going to get together or not. They are mostly apart in the book, and because of this reason, they don't affect the pace of the story or the plot in any way at all. But when it comes to Simon and Isabel as well as Jace and Clary, they do get really good developments in their relationship. At the same time, because of the development of this relationship, it takes a toll on the pacing as well as the plot as a whole. We have this huge thing going on towards the last 200 pages of the book, but the intensity of that pace and that plot and magnitude in which the things are happening are definitely disturbed due to the development of the romance and the relationships as a whole. They are really well written, but they do affect the pace in some way or the other. While seeing them as relationships and relationship developments, they are good, but when you include them within the plot, they do draw the plot for a long time, if you ask me, and it does affect the pace. Now coming to the things which I loved about this one, the way in which it related both the series, that is the Infernal Devices and this one together, and how the climax of the Infernal Devices was linked up with this one, and how the climax of City of Heavenly Fire got correlated with the epilogue of Clockwork Princess. All those things are really well put together. Since we have multiple characters who survive or not, or some characters who get so high in power and understand themselves better, all those things are really well done in this one. And also, this is the first book in which we actually get into a hell dimension, and all those things were really put well together in this one, and it was a solid climax for the series, hence it's at number 3. At number 2, we have City of Lost Souls, which is the 5th book in the series. This is a huge surprise for me after I finished rereading the series, because the first time I read the entire series, City of Lost Souls was my least favorite book. It was so bad for me that I put City of Bones over City of Lost Souls because of only one thing, one character, and he's on the cover of this book, who's Alec Lightwood. Okay. Alec makes some really stupid decisions and does some really stupid things all alone in this book, which I didn't like at all from the time he started doing them, and towards the end everything just blasts off. One thing which just bummed me a lot, especially for Alec in this one, is that he's the only character of all the 6 people in this main team who thinks rationally. Okay, all the other people, they take rash decisions, especially the 3 other Shadowhunters, Jace, Clary and Isabel. They just jump into any situation when a crisis arises and they try to solve the problems spontaneously as they come by. Alec is not definitely like that. He always wants a backup plan. He thinks things through and then act. But in this one, it doesn't feel like he's doing everything in the way that he usually does itself. He has a lot of insecurities which start surfacing. They are there in the first half of the series also, but he manages them really well, if you ask me. But in this book, it is definitely not like that. Many things slip out of hand and he meets with certain people whom he should not. The things which I like about the book are again the connections with the Infernal Devices, how those characters or part of some characters from the Infernal Devices get in here and actually just mush up the entire plot. And apart from the Infernal Devices, we also get some characters from the main chronicle who are given even more density in those short stories, and reading those short stories after this one just puts up the light on the characters, showing how well manipulative they are. Also, the antagonist in this book is definitely top notch. Okay, the abilities that they have, I'm not specifying the gender, so the abilities that they have are extreme, and the way in which they manipulate all these people and makes the Clave believe certain stuff, it's just epic. You will definitely want to hate this antagonist that much because they are so good. So definitely City of Lost Souls, it's at number 2 for me now. Finally, at number 1, we have City of Glass, which is the 3rd book in the entire series. Okay, there are multiple reasons why I love this book. This is the actual book in which all the main characters, all the 6 main characters, get some things which just shape them to be the people they are. And I'd like to say each and everything without giving spoilers away for these 6 characters. First, we'll talk about the main character, Clary. Okay, the ability of Clary and the purpose why she has it is revealed clearly in this one, and the magnitude of her power is made to be sensed by each and every person. Other than her, no other Shadowhunter has this power, and it was not acquired naturally, obviously, but the person who gave her that power ends up being the sufferer of the effects of that power. The way in which things come round because of Clary's power is a really good pedestal, if you ask me, in which her character is developed in this book. Next, moving on to Jace. Definitely, on my reread, I did not like Jace in book 1, but from book 2, I started liking him, and only in book 3, I was sure that I made this concrete decision that, sorry, I have misread Jace in my first read, and definitely I'm starting to understand this guy better now. Just because he's so sassy and sarcastic, I did not like him in the first book, but in this one, behind all those sass and sarcasm, there's a lot of pain that he has experienced in the past years, and all those things we get to see in this book. So that's the thing for Jace. Moving on to Simon, okay, definitely Simon is a very unique character in this one because he is the person through which a different facet of the clave is revealed. Okay, they unveil it themselves by doing certain things to him, but without the presence of Simon in this particular picture, we would not have come to know the entire scope of the things that the clave is capable of doing. Next, moving on to Izzy. I said before itself that Izzy had the peak of her character arc in City of Glass. I still stand by it because the scene in which Izzy tries and saves a person, she ends up saving two people actually. If you've read the books, you understand what I'm telling. I don't want to spoil it at any cost for you. Apart from just that, she also protects all her friends, okay, starting from Jace, Clary, Simon, like Magnus, everyone. And she's the only underage Shadowhunter who goes and puts on a fight all by herself without others even having the knowledge what she's doing. And without Izzy, I'm definitely sure that the book would not have ended in a proper happy ending. Then moving on to Magnus and Alec, I think Magnus and Alec better scenes in this book always occur together because there are multiple scenes in which they interact, and it is definitely not always where they are in the same place. They communicate through fire messages, sometimes they communicate face to face also, but definitely halfway through the book some things start happening and they reveal their relationship public to everyone. Those are some instances which just shape the relationship of them as a whole, and they also show how powerful they are separately as characters, and when they are put together, what a beautiful couple they form. All those things are really well presented in this one. Also the climax in this one, it has some open doors, also it wraps up certain things properly. It sets up a ramp for the second half of the series, as well as it ties a bow and completes the first half of the series really well. For all these reasons, this is definitely my most favorite of all the 6 books. Yes guys, that's all for today, and if you want more Shadowhunter content, please do check out my playlist because I have 17 videos already in that playlist. So if you're interested, you can go and check them out in order to get even more Shadowhunter content. And if you did enjoy watching today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel because I publish new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.